Salutations everyone, this is Sam Chonga here, and I am here to teach you how to build your very first 60 card deck for the Pokemon TCG. So for starters, we got your Pokemon. Try to go for at least under 20, that way you don't draw into too much and you have just the right amount to make it effective. You got your basic energies, which will take up at least 12 spots in your deck, I want to say. And maybe a little more depending on the special energies you run. Needs you to give your Pokemon enhanced abilities if it's attached to them. You have your item cards, which you can play any number of them a whole turn. You have your supporters, which you can only play once per turn. And you'll take up some stuff as well. Mostly trainer cards will be the main bulk of your deck. There are tool cards, which you can attach any number of tools to your Pokemon during your turn, but you may only attach one tool to each Pokemon. That's the only caveat. Unless there's a certain condition, of course. Then you have stadiums, which benefit both players in play until it gets knocked out. And when it comes to differentiating your deck, it's really dependent on the player if they want to play with, like, say, fighting types or fire types or any other typage for that matter. But here I'll get into some fundamentals of how to play certain cards, especially in this deck in particular. I was a little indecisive on like which deck I believe would be good for beginners, but I feel like this is one of them. I feel like it's comprehensive, straight to the point, and I can help you guys learn one of the best. So, with that being said, this is mostly a Lycanroc build deck. And the reason why I want to do Lycanroc is because when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach up to 2 Spiky Energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. And Spiky Energies gives like a little bit of a shield for your Pokemon, where if it's in the active spot and it gets damaged or even knocked out, you can put 20 damage on the attacking Pokemon. Basically, that's what 2 damage counter stands for. It's usually 20, or in this case, also Vengeful Punch. Putting 4 damage counters will basically mean like 40. And the goal is to like get these energies right here quickly discarded as fast as possible. Hence why we run Brilliant Blender. It's an A-Spec, and A-Specs you can only run once in a deck, so it's like only a 1/1 copy of. And you can search your deck for up to 5 cards, and you can discard those cards. Then you have to shuffle your deck. So if you find all 4 Spiky Energies, you basically give your Lycanroc the greatest opportunity to like grab any Spiky Energy when it evolves. And when it comes to supporters, you can only play once per turn, and some have good properties that help you out once, like this card in your hand to draw on 7. Both players basically drawing new hands for however many prize cards they have remaining, benefiting you in case if any of your Pokemon were to get knocked out during your last turn, switching your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot, bringing any Pokemon from the discard pile or any energy from discard pile into your hand, grabbing any tools or items to basically help aid your benefit, and finding evolutions just to make sure the evolution process is like sped up and you don't have to worry about going through the whole process of like, say, discarding using so many Ultra Balls just to like grab a single evolution. It's like it just saves you time. It's consistent. That's always the difficult part, even for me, for instance. You can almost always guarantee there will be some like inconsistent parts sometimes, but that's where looking up deck list will go a long way. And I try to make this as beginner friendly as possible, so that way new players can get into the hobby. But aside from Lycanroc, I have some other staples in here, like the Dunsparce. It is an evolution that goes off of this little guy, Dunsparce. The reason why I have it in here is because of its runaway draw ability, where once during your turn you may draw 3 cards, and if you draw any cards in this way, shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your deck. Basically, it's like a hidden run, like, yeah, I did this, but now I can dip. Now, Blood Moon Ursaluna, if you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may attach up to 2 basic Fine Energy cards from your hand to this Pokemon. It's almost like it draws its own fight energy if you have it in your hand, of course. And it does kind of work the same way as Lycanroc. The only difference is that it just does more damage and have a different energy cost. So like for Lycanroc, for instance, I can show you. For like 3 energy, it will do 40 plus 40 for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. Blood Moon Ursaluna does kind of the same thing. The only difference is that it does 100 plus 30 for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. And the goal is to try and get as much damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon as fast as you can. Henceforth, why we got Munkidori, and I have a certain energy card for it, called Luminous Energy. This actually provides any type of energy you can attach to any Pokemon, hence why it has like a little rainbow effect inside. It's like it can account for a dark, account for a fighting, a psychic, a lightning, a water, a fire, a grass, or even a metal. But the goal is to use this as a dark energy for Munkidori, since Adrenabrain, its ability is actually really nice. For once during your turn, if this Pokemon has any dark energy attached, you may move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. Basically, Munkidori is like your damage manipulator. An Iron Jugulis is meant there to kind of stall for a little bit, just so your opponent can like dig into it a little bit, and that way your Lycanroc or Blood Moon Ursaluna can have the opportunity to get back later. And with its automated combat ability, if this Pokemon's in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if it's knocked out, you can put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. All by them simply attacking it. How great is that? And then when it comes to Tangela, this is going to be my idea to help like spread damage counters with Ground Crasher. For 1 fine energy, you may do 30 damage, but if you have like say a Stadium play, like it says, this attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and the only caveat is that you have to, discard that Stadium. Which, that's why we run 2, just in a case scenario, or in case if your opponent plays any Stadiums, could come in handy, could come in genuine handy, you never know. And some can also just enhance effects as well, like if you think about it, real quick, if I could show you. I think I just lost it, give me 1 second. I know I saw it in here, it was literally just in here. Yeah. Like, if you were to run Iron Jugulis and put, like, say, a Spiky Energy and even a Vengeful Punch, 20 plus 40 makes 60, plus the 30 right here will make it 90. Basically dishing out 90 damage back if it were to even attacked. And, of course, you could hypothetically do that, too, just to say, why not, Which even then wouldn't be a bad idea. Like, I'm opposed to that. Because that's one thing you'll find out too during your own journey during the Pokemon TCG. You may find benefits or like plans and benefits that will benefit you more than like what everyone else is doing. Like not following in with the in crowd, so to speak. Like you can develop your own strategy. I did have one of my own friends, and I would argue they taught me poison. I didn't even teach them poison types, yet they learned it off rip. I'm still impressed by it, but holy crap, I created a monster. I really did, because he's now too good with poison types. A little too good. But, yeah, I think that's about it. I guess again to rule boxes, for instance. This is what's called a single prizer deck, since it mostly has Pokemon that are single prizers, meaning like your opponent won't take like 1 prize card if they like knock any of these Pokemon out. And when it comes to like any more rule boxes, I'll show you. This, for instance, is an EX Pokemon. These guys, even though they're like heavy in HP and damage and effects, if you were to knock any of them out, their little ruling will make sure you get to take 2 prize cards instead of 1. Which goes a long way, like in getting ahead of the price trades. And I'm not saying you can't update this deck idea if you want to. It's entirely up to you. I try to make this as beginner-friendly as possible. So when it comes down to the mathematics of it, bear with me on this. I'm not the best at math, but this is the purpose of why I got into this hobby in the first place, is just so I can grow my mathematics skills. Because I'll admit, I'm not the best at math, but this hobby actually helped me out tremendously getting my old mathematics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 Pokemon. So we'll write that down. And then for energies, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fighting. And in terms of special energies, I think we got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And tools, I believe we got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 tools. 2 stadiums. Let's count the supporters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And items, let's get into this puppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 items. Now we're going to add that all up real quick just to make sure we got a full 60 card deck. So let's see here. I'm gonna try to break this down the old way I used to back in school. So bear with me. $11 plus 16. So 15 plus 7. That's at least 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Put that on top. We'll make it 22. Got 9 out of 5 plus 4. And we have 13 out of 2 plus 11. And we still have the 16 alone. Then 22 plus 9, we got 9, 10, 11. Now make that 31 plus 13 plus 16, which would be 29. Then 31 plus 29, you'll get 10. Then you'll get 5. Carry that 1. You'll get 6. Basically, we'll even out to a 60 card deck after all is said and done. And trust me, there's not saying you have to do that either. You can easily just I can show you. You can easily just grab all your stuff like so. Oh. Oh man, I can never collect these guys so correctly. See? They always try to escape me. Those try to escape my hands. What helps out, and I've seen this happen with players in person, they lay out mass piles, I believe of 4 or 5. I forget what piles in general, but I remember it's always piles like this. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And basically it just helps you out in counting every card you have in your deck and making sure you have a full 60 card deck, and now you're not missing any cards, you know. It just helps with organization. It helps you be professional. And I know when you get into more of your tournaments and league challenges and league cups and all that jazz, it's a necessity. You need to have a whole 60 card deck, and making sure everything's accounted for in terms of set abbreviations and all that jazz. We'll get into that another time. But for the time being, we're going to start off simple and to the point. And I think these little guys got stuck together. but that should be about it as far as I know. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them in any way I can. Because I'll admit, I'm decently knowledgeable now. Now the fact that I've been doing this for, at least playing the Pokemon TCG for at least, gosh, I think I've been doing it for like a solid year now, which it's amazing what you can learn in a year. I will admit, it is amazing what you can learn in a year. It's even more amazing what you can do after that year. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I sound a little more professional this time around, but it's mostly because I want to make this professional, at least in this case scenario, so that it's informative, it's to the point, and you get to learn how to actually make a 60-card deck. So yeah, I thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day.